Kosha, an encyclopedia of Vedic knowledge by Pact. Vedas. Chatur Vedas.
ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपवज्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पतआन शृण्वन्नोतिभिः
Rigveda, hymns on Indra. Hymns on Indra, mandala 6. Mandala 6, Shukta 17, Rishi Bharadwaj Brihaspati in meter Trishtu visualized Indra. Drink Soma, mighty one, for which, when lauded, thou breakest through the cattle's stall, O Indra. Thou who, O bold one, armed with thunder, smotest Vrata with might and every hostile being. Drink it, thou God, who art impetuous victor, Lord of our hymn with beauteous jaws, the hero, render of kind stalls, carbone, thunder wielding, so pierce thy way to wondrous strength, O Indra. Drink as of old, and let the draught delight thee. Hear thou our prayer, and let our songs extol thee. Make the sun visible, make food abundant, slaughter the foe, pierce through and free the cattle. These gladdening drops, O Indra, self-sustainer, quaffed shall augment thee in thy mighty splendor. Let the cheering drops delight thee greatly, great, perfect, strong, powerful, all subduing. Gladdened whereby, bursting the firm enclosures, thou gavest splendor to the sun and morning. The mighty rock that compassed in the cattle never moved, thou shookest from its seat, O Indra. Thou with thy wisdom, power and works of wonder, hast stored the ripe milk in the raw cow's udders, unbarred the firm doors for the kine of morning, and with the Angirasas set free the cattle. Thou hast spread out wide earth, O mighty marvel, and high thyself, propped lofty heaven, O Indra. Both worlds whose sons are gods thou hast supported, young mothers from old time of holy order. Indra, all the deities installed thee there, one strong champion in the van for battle. What time the godless was the god's assailant, Indra, they chose to win the light of heaven. Then that heaven itself of old bent backward before thy bolt in terror of its anger, when Indra, life of every living creature, smote down within his lyre the assailing dragon. Strong one, this was the turn for thee, the mighty, the bold with 1,000 spikes and 100 edges, eager and prompt at will, wherewith thou crushest the boasting dragon, O impetuous hero. He dressed 100 buffaloes, O Indra, for thee whom all accordant Marutas strengthened. He pusan Vishnu poured forth 3 great vessels to him, the juice that cheers, that slaughters Vrata. Thou settest free the rushing wave of waters, the flood's great swell encompassed and obstructed. Along steep slopes their course thou tumest, Indra, directed downward, speeding to the ocean. So may our new prayer bring thee to protect us, thee well-armed hero with thy bolt of thunder. Indra, who made these worlds the strong, who never groweth old, the victory giver. So Indra, form us brilliant holy singers for strength, for glory and for food and riches. Give Bharadwaja hero patterns, Indra. Indra be ours upon the day of trial. With this may we obtain strength, God appointed, and brave sons gladden us through 100 winters. Sukta 18. Rishi Bharadwaja Brihaspati in meter Tristu hailed Indra glorify him whose might is all surpassing. Indra, the much invoked, who fights uninjured. Magnify with these songs the never vanquished, the strong, the bull of men, the mighty victor. He champion, hero, warrior, lord of battles, impetuous, loudly roaring, great destroyer, who wills the dust on high, alone overthrower, hath made all races of mankind his subjects. Thou alone hast tamed the Dasayus, singly thou hast subdued the people for the Arya. In this, or is it not thine hero exploit, Indra? Declare it at the prosperous season. For true I deem thy strength is thine the mighty, thine, O most potent, thine the conquering victor, strong of the strong, most mighty of the mighty, thine driver of the church to acts of bounty. Be this our ancient bond of friendship with you and with Angirasas, here who speak of Vala, thou wondrous shaker of things firm, didst smite him in his fresh strength and force his doors and castles. With holy thoughts must he be called the mighty, showing his power in the great fight with Vrata. He must be called to give us seed and offspring. The thunderer must he, moved and sped to battle. He in his might, with name that lives forever, hath far surpassed all human generations. He most heroic hath his home with splendor, with glory and with riches, and with valor. Stranger to Gulli, who never was false or faithless, bearing a name that may be well remembered, Indra crushed Kumari, Dhuni, Sambara, Pipru, and Susna, that their castles fell in ruin. With saving might that must be praised and lauded, Indra, ascend thy car to smite down Vrata. In thy right hand hold fast thy bolt of thunder, and weaken, bounteous Lord, his art and magic. As Agni, as the dot burns the dry forest, like the dread shaft burn down the fiends, O Indra, thou who with high deep reaching spear hast broken, hast covered over mischief and destroyed it. With wealth by thousand paths come hither, Agni, paths that bring ample strength, O thou most splendid. Come, son of strength, over whom invoked of many, the godless hath no power to keep thee distant. From heaven, from earth is breathed forth the greatness of him the firm, the fiery, the resplendent. No foe hath he, no counterpart, no refuge is there from him the conqueror full of wisdom. This day the deed that thou hast done is famous, when thou for him with many thousand others laidest low Kusa, Ayu, Atiggiva, and boldly didst deliver Tiruvayana. In thee, O God, the wisest of the sages, all gods were joyful when thou slewest Hahi. When lauded for thyself, thou gavest freedom to sore afflicted heaven and to the people. This power of thine, both heaven and earth acknowledge, the deathless God acknowledge it. O Indra, do what thou never hast done, O mighty worker, beget anew him at thy sacrifices. Sukta 19, Rishi Bharadwaja Brihaspati in meter Trishtu hailed Indra. Great hero-like controlling men in Indra, unvasting in his powers, doubled in vastness, he turned to us, hath grown to hero vigor. Broad wide he hath been decked by those who serve him. The bowl made Indra swift to gather. The bowl made Indra swift to gather booty. The high, the lofty, youthful, undecaying, him who hath waxed by strength, which none may conquer, and even at once grown to complete perfection. Stretch out those hands of thine, extend to us what thy wide, capacious arms, and grant us glory. Like as the household herdsman guards the cattle, so move thou round about us in the combat. Now, fain for strength, let us invite your Indra hither, who lieth hidden with his heroes, free from all blame, without reproach, uninjured, even as were those who sang or old his praises. With steadfast laws, wealth giver, strong through Soma, he hath much fair and precious food to feed us. In him unite all paths that lead to riches, like rivers that commingle with the ocean. Bring unto us the mightiest might, O hero, strong, most potent force, thou great subduer. All splendid, vigorous powers of man, vouchsafe us, Lord of bay steeds, that they may make us joyful. Bring us grown mighty in its strength, O Indra, thy friendly rapturous joy that wins the battle. Wherewith thee assisted and triumphant, we may laud thee in gaining seed and offspring. Indra, bestow on us the power heroic, skilled, and exceeding strong, that wins the booty, wherewith by thine assistance we may conquer our foes in battle, be thy king or stranger. Let thine heroic strength come from behind us, before us, from above us or below us. From every side may it approach us, Indra. Give us the glory of the realm of splendor. With most heroic aid from thee, like heroes, Indra, may we win wealth by deeds glory. Thou king art, lord of earthly heavenly treasure, vouchsafe us riches vast, sublime, and lasting. The bull whose strength had waxed, whom Marutas follow, free giving Indra, the celestial ruler, mighty all conquering, the victory giver. Him let us call to grant us new protection. Give up the people who are high and haughty to these men and to me. O thunder wielder, therefore upon the earth do we invoke thee, where heroes win for sons and kine and waters. Through these thy friendships, God invoked of many, may we be victors over every foeman, slaying both kinds of foe. May we, O hero, be happy, helped by thee with ample riches. Sukta 20, Rishi Bharadwaj Brihaspati in meter Trishtup visualized Indra. Give us wealth, Indra, that with might as heaven overtops the earth, overcomes our foes in battle. Wealth that brings thousands and that wins the corn land. Wealth, son of strength, that vanquishes the foeman. Even as the power of Daya to thee, O Indra, all Asuras' sway was by the gods entrusted. When thou, impetuous, leagued with Vishnu, slowest Vrata, the dragon who enclosed the waters, Indra, strong victor, mightier than the mighty, addressed with prayer and perfect in his splendor, Lord of the bolt that breaketh forts in pieces, became the king of the sweet Jews of Soma. There Indra, while the light was won, the plan's feet neath 100 blows for wise Dasoni and greedy Susna's magical devices, nor left he any of their food remaining. What time the thunder fell and Susna perished, all life support from the great Druha was taken. Indra made room for his cart driver Kussa, who sat beside him when he gained the sunlight. As the hawk rent for him the stalk that gladdens, he wrenched the head from Namusi the Dasa. He guarded Nama, Saya's son, in slumber, and sated him with food, success, and riches. Thou, thunder armed with thy great might, hast shattered Pipru's strong force, who knew the wiles of serpents. Thou gavest to thy worshipper Rijiswan imperishable wealth, O bounteous giver. The crafty Vetasu, the swift Dasani, and Tugra, speedily with all his servants, hath Indra, gladdening with strong assistance, forced near as it were to glorify the mother. Resistless with the hosts he battles, bearing in both his arms the Vrata slaying thunder, he mounts his base as the car seat, an archer, yoked at a word they bear the lofty Indra. May we, O Indra, gain by thy new favor, so Porus laud thee with their sacrifices, that thou last wrecked 7 autumn forts, their shelter, slain Dasa, tribes and aided Purushta. Favoring Usana, the son of Kavi, thou wast his ancient strengthener, O Indra, thou gavest Navavastava as a present. To the great father gavest back his grandson. Thou, roaring Indra, drovest on the waters that made a roaring sound like rushing rivers. What time, O hero, over the sea thou broughtest, in safety broughtest Turvasa and Yadu. This, Indra, was thy work in war. Thou sentest Dhuni and Kumari to sleep and slumber. The Diti lit the flame for thee and worshipped with fuel. Hymns poured Soma dressed oblations. Shukta 21, Bharadwaj Brahaspati in Meter Tristup hailed Indra. These the most constant singers invocations call thee, who art to be invoked, O hero. Hymns call anew the chariot born, eternal. By eloquence men gain abundant riches. I praise that Indra, known to all men, honored with song, extorted with hymns at sacrifices, whose majesty, rich in wondrous arts, surpasseth the magnitude of earth and heaven in greatness. He hath made pathways with the sun to aid him, throughout the darkness that extended pathless. Mortals who earn to worship never dishonor. O mighty God, thy law who art immortal. And he who did these things, where is that Indra? Among what tribes, what people doth he visit? What sacrifice contents thy mind and wishes? What priest among them all? What hymn, O Indra? Yea, here were they who, born of old, have served thee, thy friends of ancient time, thou active worker. Bethink thee now of these, invoked of many, the midmost and the recent and the youngest. Inquiring after him, thy later servants, Indra, have gained thy former old tradition. Hero to whom the prayer is brought, we praise thee as great for that wherein we know thee mighty. The devil's strength is gathered fast against thee. Great as that strength hath grown, go forth to meet it with thine own ancient friend and companion, the thunderbolt, brave champion, drive it backward. Hear too the prayer of this thy present beatsman, O Indra, hero, cherishing the singer, for thou wast I our father's friend aforetime, still swift to listen to their supplication. Bring to our help this day for our protection Varuna, Mitra, Indra, and the Marutas, Kusan and Vishnu, Agni and Purandhi, Savitar also, and the plants and mountains. The singers here extolled with hymns and praises. Thee who art very mighty and most holy, here when invoked the invoker's invocation, beside thee there is none like thee, immortal. Now to my words come quickly, thou who knowest, O son of strength, with all whom claim our worship, who visit sacred rites, whose tongue is Agni, gods who made Manu stronger than the Dasayug. O good and evil ways, be thou our leader, thou who art known to all as path preparer. Bring power to us, O Indra, with thy horses, steeds that are best to draw, brought back unworried. Sukta 22, Rishi Bharadwaja Brihaspati, in meter Tristup, hailed Indra. With these my hymns I glorify that Indra, who is alone to be invoked by mortals, the Lord, the mighty one of manly vigor, victorious, hero, true and full of wisdom. Our sides of old, Navagavas, sages 7, while urging him to show his might, extolled him, dwelling on heights, swift smiting down opponent, guileless in word and in his thoughts most mighty. We seek that Indra to obtain his riches that bring much food and men and store of heroes. Bring us, Lord of bay steeds, to make us joyful, celestial wealth, abundant, undecaying. Tell thou us this, if at thy hand aforetime the earlier singers have obtained good fortune. What is thy share and portion, strong subduer, Asura slayer, rich invoked of many? He who for carbon Indra, armed with thunder, hath a hymn, craving deeply piercing, fluent, who sends a song effectual, firmly grasping and strength bestowing, he comes near the mighty. Strong of thyself, thou by this art hast shattered with thought swift Parvata, him who waxed against thee, and mightiest, roaring, boldly rent in pieces things that were firmly fixed and never shaken. Him will we fit for you with new devotion, the strongest ancient one in ancient manner. So may that Indra, boundless, faithful leader, conduct us over all places hard to traverse. Thou for the people who oppress hast kindled the earthly firmament and that of heaven. With heat, O bull, on every side consume them. Heat earth and flood for him who hates devotion. Of all the heavenly folk, of earthly creatures, thou art the king, O God of splendid aspect. In thy right hand, O Indra, grasp thy thunder. Eternal, thou destroyest all enchantment. Give us confirmed prosperity, O Indra, vast and exhaustless for the foes subduing. Strengthen therewith the Arya's hate and Dasas, and let the arms of Nahushas be mighty. Come with thy team, which brings all blessings hither. Disposer, much invoked, exceeding holy, thou whom no fiend, no god can stay or hinder. Come swiftly with these steeds in my direction.